Here's a follow-up from this last week that I've just not been feeling the best. I have to partially attribute it to a crazy ass schedule, to be honest. Um, Also the fact that I had been around people who were coughing and sneezing without a mask, no less. There is a reason for masks, right now. Not just for this COVID stuff or the Omicron or the Delta or anything like that. In actual other countries, it is required during this time of year to be wearing a mask. I learned this from somebody who just traveled extensively and was able to inform me that other countries require it. It simply prevents during this time of year of cold and flu season to avoid spreading the flu and other items, which is ironic because in the United States we discovered that there was a decrease in the amount of flu last year when masks were required. Anyways, that's going a little bit on a rabbit trail, so to speak. I started feeling a lot better yesterday. I was actually getting back to a normal sleep schedule. I'm going to be sharing a little contrast of what I'm doing almost on a daily basis, just so that you can see from a fibromyalgia, chronic pain, and chronic fatigue syndrome patient's perspective. I've been having a lot of challenges lately, and in one of the previous videos talking about what I do, what I work, kind of goes into it a little bit. It might sound a little confusing, that particular video, and there's a reason. I have been trying to make an income from anything and everything, and in the process, it's been sacrificing my health, which is the reason why I'm posting this video, is to share that to find work that you can do from home that you're in control of can actually sacrifice your health if you can't support yourself in one way or another, especially if you don't have somebody bringing in an income while you do it. I also have a lot of stress within the house that I am in. The stress within the house is simply because I'm living in a household where my uncle owns a house, and there are what he considers 3 households. That would be my niece, her new boyfriend, and then myself, and then him, and my mom. And my mother reminds me regularly about how if it weren't for him, none of us would have a roof over our head. Well, that's just another stress to add on to all the rest of it. How I ended up being in this particular situation is simply because I lost my husband back in January of 19, and I have been trying to figure myself out ever since. I have tried writing books unsuccessfully. I have tried creating crafts, which I have not posted simply because I don't have a lot as of yet. They say to have a minimum of 20, and I'm getting there. Mostly earrings, but I'm working now on necklaces, and I'm learning about print on demand, which is another video in itself. I'm going to be sharing my perspective on print on demand as well as affiliate marketing. So these are the 4 things that I've been dealing with, as well as recycling. Now, in the state of Oregon, we're about keeping it green. Okay, so keeping it green means recycling, composting, trash, and having it all organized, which many don't, which is besides the point. How I can say many don't is because I've done recycling myself. And I think that's part of why I didn't feel good this week, which is why I'm going to be doing kind of a mini blog kind of thing to share with you. Fibromyalgia sufferers, when you go into long walks or even consider a walk, sometimes it can be stressful. So my whole point here is to state that I think that is part of what caused the stress and the feeling icky. Also doing cashing in, which I didn't make a lot of income, but it was enough to pay some basic bills. So, as an update that I am feeling a bit better, I'm taking it slow and easy. On top of that, I also have a bad ankle that has nothing to do with fibromyalgia or chronic pain or chronic fatigue syndrome. It has to do with the fact that I wore heels back in the day. Back when I was younger, I had a mindset for professionalism, which I'm going to put in a different video because it can actually lead to fatigue and chronic pain. Anyhow, that's my update for feeling kind of icky this week, and we will go from there. Today I'm feeling pretty good so far, but I'm having to deal with some people who vape. Vaping is not good for those who have fibromyalgia, chronic pain, or chronic fatigue syndrome. It is notated in the medical community. Vaping is worse than cigarette smoke. It is worse. A vaping vial, I guess, is the equivalent of 20 packs of cigarettes. So I don't know all of the ins and the outs, don't want to know all of the ins and the outs. I can just tell you that my sensitivities, and many fibromyalgia sufferers have similar sensitivities, and that goes for chronic pain and chronic fatigue syndrome. I am telling you, all of it is related to nerve and stress, and vaping, smoking, all of that stuff can have an effect on it and heighten the sensitivity, heighten the reaction, cause challenges in the reaction. So there's my update for how I'm feeling a little bit better. I'll feel a lot better when I'm able to move away from this place, but that's another story in itself.